knowing what to play, when to play, and how to play can be super overwhelming, I know. But you don't have to, because the answer lies within. That's coming up. Hi, my name is David Rollman. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping guitar players like yourself find their voice on the instrument, develop it to tell your own musical story. I'm really a strong believer in the fact that nobody can play the way you play it. You just need to be equipped with those tools. And today we're going to do a real-time exercise. I've got a backing track here by my good friend Javier Loaiza, who's been producing backing tracks for guitarplayback.com, my website. You can get this backing track along others on the website. You can visit that, but they'll do it right now because I want you to benefit from this free lesson. And I just loaded up one of his tracks. Today's lesson is all about the lost art of shutting up and listening. And if you've seen my lessons before, you know that, well, yeah, guilty. I talk a lot, but that's really musically what is going to make you, I think, a better player. If you listen to others, it's going to tell you what to play. Mentally, I'm gathering some clues here as to what I might be playing. The clues are, what's the beat? That's it. What subdivision would be appropriate? Taka, 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 maybe? Or taka, 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 taka. No, probably 16th. Taka, taka, taka. Sad, happy, mysterious, expressive. All those things are mentally happening in the first few seconds. And it's important not to play so that you can gather those clues. And then you're just going to play. I'm going to pause here because something happened that is very important when you start improvising over a backing track or with a band and you don't know the key. The very first note that I played was not a good note. Did you notice? If not, that's okay. And what I did here for you to try not to notice too much is play very softly. The first few notes should be very soft because you want to blend in. That's really, really important. And what you could do too is even use your volume tone so that you can ease into a note. It's even gentler like that. That's better, that's smoother, and you can fix that pitch if you need to. Really start slowly. And then I started with just a few notes. Okay. How did I do that? Well, I did that by listening, and I needed a starting point, a starting note, which in this case was this one. Once I have a starting note, I can build the rest of the musical idea that I have in mind and just reproduce it on the guitar. But how? You can do it too. Let's go back to the language thing. I'm considering that you're speaking English speakers. If not, why are you watching this video? I don't know. Probably not for my face. I don't know. But the thing is, when you're born into a language, you are very familiar with some of the sounds. Let's just try this experiment. Could you say this? Baraposa. Say it. Baraposa. Did you have trouble saying it? Probably not. Did you hear that word before? Probably not. But you were able to reproduce it right away. Why? Because the sounds that I use were sounds that you've heard for your whole life. Barabosa. Those are English-speaking sounds. Ba, you instinctively know that to do ba, you need to put your lips together like this and enter them a little bit in your mouth, put a little bit of air out. B. That's the sound B. And then a, open your mouth this way, a little bit of air, ba. No, yeah, nobody thinks like that, but that's what you're actually doing in your mind very, very fast. Musically, it's the same thing. If you have a musical idea, you should be able to reproduce it automatically. The only difference is that you're not using your mouth, you're not using your vocal cords, but you're using your tendons, your muscles, your fingers to reproduce whatever you're hearing. So if I'm hearing this, ba-da-ba-ba, should be able to reproduce that, because you know that in order to have this sound, ba-da, you need to use your pinky here, and then lift it, and then put pressure with your middle finger, that distance. All that is happening, but it's instant. Just like you saying Barabosa, instant. You just reproduce that. Same with music. We can get there. And in order to get there, we need to be comfortable with intervals. An interval is the distance between two notes. You should know that. It's what makes music music. Without it, we would just have a single note and all the songs would sound, thank you very much, like that. Nothing going on. A note by itself is just a sound. It needs to be played in relation to something else to become something. Right? A note can have multiple meanings, but that meaning is only brought to light when that note is played in relation to something else. And that's what's going on there. So intervals is very important. There's a lot of intervals. Eventually, you'll get very, very comfortable hearing them all, but you should start with the smallest interval that there is in Western music, which is the half step. On the guitar, it's the interval, the distance between two consecutive frets. So if you have a note on the first string, 5th fret, the next one is on the 6th, that's a half step. And you should be able to sing that half step from any notes. There it is. There it is. You can associate little songs with that. The Jaws theme comes to mind. For example. And then you also need to have the full step. You need to hear that full step, which is 2 frets apart. So if you have a note here, a full step above is 2 frets higher. You can associate the song Happy Birthday for that. Happy birthday. So if you can sing Happy Birthday from any note, you can hear the full step. Happy birthday, or Happy birthday. There you go. So if you can hear the half step and the full step, you can start building things like this. Right? Just simple ideas using half steps and whole steps. There's another thing that is really important when you start playing over a backing track that you don't know the key, and that's memory. Memory, you don't have to memorize tons of stuff. I don't. It gets me in trouble with my wife. Long story. But I don't remember everything. But I do remember certain things, and if you're consciously remembering, taking mental picture, mental note of some things, they'll come back. And when I'm talking about just a few notes. For example, as I'm playing something here, I'm going to focus on a single note. This sound. Where is it? 2nd string, 8th fret. I'm going to remember that sound. Then I'm going to continue playing. What was it? 8th fret, 2nd string. So I can go back to it. Where's that? 2nd string, 8th fret. and you just maybe gradually add a few other notes, like 2-3 notes are enough to have like a better understanding of where those sounds are. And the sounds are really generated from you singing over the track, but the track is also directing your song. Hearing things that are happening here are going to influence what I play. For instance, you remember that intro when we were not playing anything, just listening? It's going to give you some ideas of some themes. Let's just listen if we can hear some. There's tons of themes in there. The movement there. Ba-da-ba. It's heavy and deep. Ba-da-ba. Okay. Ba. 8th fret. Ba-da-ba. Okay, there's my theme. There's one. So this kind of playing is usually slower paced, more controlled, because you're really in control of what you're playing, but not necessarily very guitaristic, which is okay, right? We're musicians before guitar players. Oh, maybe not, but maybe we are. What I would suggest here is eventually, once you have some themes going on, once you have some mental notes of bum, 2nd string, 8th fret, once you have those things, you're going to start to notice some shapes, some comfortable shapes, things that you've played over and over. For example. Okay, there's a shape. That's very familiar. Minor pentatonic, major pentatonic. We've heard those things before, right? A lot. Which is why I don't recommend starting with, because you're going to sound like 10 billion guitar players out there. But these kind of ideas still have their place. They have their place to inject to your really focused playing some guitaristic parts, which the advantage of those is that they are heavily influenced by your comfort zones. You could play those, with your eyes closed probably. They don't demand much concentration. They're automatic, those licks. Those are important because they will give you a mental break. When you're playing very focused, anticipating the sound of every note, that's very demanding mentally, and you need a break in a 3-minute song, and that's where those, okay, I don't have to think about it, but I've got to go back to something more musical. Where should I start my idea? Well, remember that 8th fret, and more focused from there on. I'm going to jam a little bit over this track and see what happens, and try to pay attention to where I'm playing really focused, anticipating the sound of the notes, maybe a little slower paced, but I'm making those melodic ideas on the spots, trying to really blend in with the backing track. And notice when I'm getting mentally dribbled, confused, that's where I'll play more lick-based ideas. So let's give that a try. Where do I start? I got the 8th fret. Sorry for the faces, by the way. I promise I'm not doing it on purpose. Guitar players' faces. Bad one. If you want to go further with interval training, you should sign up to my free music theory course. It's a mini video course that is very beneficial, I think, if you are overwhelmed by all the terms of music theory. It's completely free. All you need to do is visit the link below, guitarinfusion.com. Enter your best email in there and I will be sending you the free course. And at the end, I will tell you about my paid training, the Guitar Infusion course, but you are not obligated to sign up. Just get the free stuff. It's super beneficial. And that's what I had for you today. If this was your first visit on this channel, you should definitely subscribe because I have about 3 videos coming every week helping guitar players like yourself find their voice, embrace it, and develop it so that you can tell your own personal musical story. Nobody can play the way you play on the guitar. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.